This is Mike with AskTractorMike.com. We're on a tractor safari today. I'm with a good friend of mine, Joe, who is driving right now. Say hi, Joe.
Hey, hi.
Keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of folks, and I'm really one of them, either don't have the money to buy a new tractor or just don't want to buy a new tractor. I've owned one new car in my life and probably will never own another one. It was just a bad investment, and I don't have a problem with taking something somebody else has had and making it mine. And Joe is one of my people that watch my videos.
All of them.
And Joe is doing what a lot of you are doing, moving out to the country and trying to reclaim some land that's mostly timber and probably grass, and it just kind of had been untouched for years.
Yeah, at least 25 years probably.
And Joe and I are friends. We go back, gosh, I don't know, what, 10, 15 years?
Oh, more than that for sure.
And Joe worked for UPS for 36 years in order to retire and live this new life out in the country.
Hallelujah.
And Joe, tell us a little bit about, you have no tractor experience whatsoever.
Except the videos I've seen. That's the only thing I've ever done. I've never been on a tractor, except I think one time we used to have that little thing at your place in Marionville, and I think I drove a tractor around for hay rides. Somebody showed me how to put it in gear and start and stuff. That's the only time I've ever been on a tractor.
So what we're doing today, Joe's been watching, I don't know, Craigslist, or there's another one in our area.
It's on Facebook. It's a tractor selling swap thing or something.
Farm and Ranch Swap or something like that. And you know, I've done videos about how I'm a dealer-oriented guy because I worked in a dealership for a long time, and I called on dealers before that. So I'm a proponent of buying a tractor off a dealer when you can. Because used tractors, there's usually no guarantee on them, but if something does go wrong, most dealers don't want their name just slandered all over the place because they sold you a piece of junk, or something like that. But having said that, a used tractor is a used tractor, and so I've been watching inventory on dealers' lots, and in our area anyway, there's not a lot of used tractors on dealers' lots, and part of the reason that is there is a lot of commerce now going through Craigslist and Facebook and different places like that. So Joe has found a tractor on the Facebook site, and tell us what you know about it so far, Joe.
Well, it's a 1983 Ford. I forget the model number, 3660 or
3600.
3600. And 1983, the guy's owned it for 10 years. He bought the Brush Hog new 8 years ago. Says he loves it. He's been very forthright, very honest with me, very amiable. Just couldn't be any friendlier. Maybe that's a red flag. I don't know.
Not usually.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. He says he loves it. He's moving to town. We're actually flip-flopping in roles. He's moving to town. He's already told me how much he's going to miss the tractor and miss the life, but he's got to move to town. That's all I know.
And a lot of times, I give you a little bit about my background. When I managed a dealership, I was responsible for the profit of that dealership, and you can lose a lot of money trading for bad tractors. And a lot of times, even though I manage the store, I like to go out and look at the used tractors the salespeople were thinking about trading for, because I guess there's a part of me that just wanted to see with my own eyes what the dealership was getting ready to sink their money into when they traded. And I like being out, and I like meeting people and stuff like that. Also, it's a good way to educate yourself about what values are and what to look at. And I didn't take very many files with me when I left the dealership, but I did take their used tractor evaluation form, which I'm going to edit a little bit, and I do need to get their permission to do this, and I know it won't be a problem, but I'm going to make a used tractor evaluation form available. There will be a link below. It'll either be on my website or just email me and I'll send it to you. But I've got a form that we'll fill out. And Joe, a couple of three things I'm going to tell you about that I looked at that's not on the form. And the first one, and this is something you've figured out, you're looking at the guy or the lady that has a tractor that's selling it. And I just not too many times, maybe it's because we live in the Ozarks and people are mostly honest, did I ever have someone that was nice and friendly and real open about what their tractor was that we didn't trade for a good tractor.
Wow.
And so, you know, one of the main things I gauge when I'm looking at a used tractor anywhere is the person that's selling it. And I want to look at the tractor, how well it's been taken care of, and we're going to look at a few specific things when we get out there. But I also want to look at the person's place. I don't think I ever went to a farm or a residence that was immaculate, that they were trading in a piece of equipment that wasn't an outstanding piece of equipment. If they take care of their place, generally their equipment's, they're going to take care of that too.
Makes sense.
And I also, you know, if the guy was yelling at his dog and yelling at his wife, if he doesn't take care of his family and his pets, I'm not sure he's going to take care of his tractor either.
Right.
So that's something I always looked at. So we're going to kind of evaluate all of that today. And I want to tell you guys, you're along for the ride. There's no guarantee on a used tractor you're going to get a good one. I can't see inside the motor. Joe can't see inside the motor. The guy that's trying to sell it to Joe can't see inside the motor or the hydraulic system or anything like that. So we really don't know what we're getting into. It's an older Ford tractor. The first thing I always tell people when they're looking at a tractor is, do you have someplace local to get service and parts? And Ford was bought, the Ford tractor division was bought by New Holland, and the dealership I worked for was that dealer that services that brand, and they're rock solid. They really take care of their people good. And I actually one of their main mechanics, probably the best Ford mechanic in the area, Joe, is a guy named Hoot. And I've done 2 videos with Hoot where he showed us inside a hydraulic cylinder, and I texted him before I left and asked him his opinion on the 3600, and he said, good solid tractor, don't like the brakes.
Oh.
So look for a brake issue, and but you're mostly on flat ground, and
Yeah.
you know that some of these older tractors, the brakes are a problem regardless of the brand. But Joe, you got a call from this guy after you'd initially called him looking at this tractor. Tell us about that interaction.
I did. He called and said he got out on it the next morning, and it was leaking hydraulic fluid out of the steering column. And he called and he said, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry this happened. I'm so glad this happened now instead of the day after someone bought it. But he said, I got a mechanic coming to look at it, and he's gonna tell me how much it's gonna cost to get it fixed, and I will either have this fixed or I will subtract my price, what I'm asking for whatever it will cost to get this fixed. But I am so sorry. He kept going over and over and over. I'm so very sorry that this happened. I had no idea. It's always been a really solid tractor. Just really a nice guy, and just couldn't apologize more. And obviously, you know, I was glad that it happened then also instead of happening after the day I bought it. But he's already looked into it. He's got it. He sent me a link to the schematic of how to put the part in if I want to do it, and how much the part cost. And so that's pretty much all I know about it. Mike can look at that and tell me what that's going to be.
Yeah, and that's you know, of course, a really good sign. Joe, I wanted to ask you a question while we're on the road here. You could afford a new tractor. Why are you not looking at a new tractor?
Well, we did look at a new tractor, actually. We looked at a new tractor, and just balancing out everything. I mean, still might get a new tractor, I don't know, but the new tractor I was looking at was $36,000. And, you know, I don't have that kind of money laying around, but you can make a monthly payment on one. So, I don't know. It's just, you can only spend every dollar you've got one time. So, it's just balancing things out, you know, what I want to do with this and what I want to do with that, pretty much.
Yeah, and I think, you know, if you have somebody you could take with you, and again, I'm no guarantee Joe's going to get a good tractor, but if you have a mechanic that you're comfortable with, that you could take to look at a tractor, and then if you have to pay him a little bit to go, that's good insurance. But again, there are no guarantees in this world. You know, older tractors develop leaks sporadically, and you know, they get age on. You think if you're out looking at a 1983 car you'd expect to have some issues with it. But generally, tractors hold their value well, and they hold together well. And again, we've got a good local dealer here that can service a Ford line if something goes wrong, and parts are readily available. And so, I sure don't have a problem with thinking about this tractor. I'm going to cut off now. Next time we open up, we'll be out to place, and I'll show you some things to look for if you're shopping for a used tractor.
See, that's a new wheel right there on that side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is why. Fluid. He was telling me about that on the way up here.
Calcium.
Right here. That, I'm guessing, I probably had another 2 years out of it, comparing it to that one. I just did that this spring.
It is dripping just a little bit, running down here.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you mean.
It may be something small, but I don't know.
It still works like it used to. They can still do what it was designed to. I think I'm slowing down. I can't do as much as I used to be able to, for sure.
Well, we're headed home from looking at the 3600 Ford, and kind of mixed feelings. The guy was a home run, Joe. Wouldn't
Absolutely.
You say?
Gold, pure gold. Love him.
A really, really nice guy, really honest about the condition of the tractor. The kind of guy you want to buy a tractor from. If he was a little bit more maintenance oriented, he admitted himself that he was not a big preventative maintenance guy, and there were some things on the tractor that kind of showed that. He developed a leak in the steering column, and it was coming out, like really coming out. And Joe, the thing that really concerned me was the color of the oil. Did you see that?
I did not see it.
It was more of a whitish brownish color, which means there's water down in there somewhere. I always go around, Joe, at the grease zerks, and I should have pointed that out to you and showed them, but there were some grease zerks on the bush hog that were a little bit dry, and then we found a leak in the injector pump, and I'm not enough of a service guy to know exactly where that was coming from, but it appeared to me it had been there a while. Joe, you saw that too. What you
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of debris that oil had attracted all around there. It had been there a while.
Yeah, and the guy was really honest, and I know his brother, and it's a guy that's gold. I just think for Joe, you don't want to spend a lot of time working on a tractor, and
don't know how to work on a tractor, so I can't even drive one yet. So I'm helpless.
And then the last thing, I was warned about this tractor from Hoot about brakes, and the left side brake is not even there. You can split the brake pedals and test each individual brake, which if you're looking at a used tractor, I'd recommend you doing. And the left brake has no function whatsoever, and the right brake is probably about, I'd say, 15 to 20%, and I had to stand on it to get it stopped on a really, really light grade. So I'm going to check on some prices, Joe, to get this thing in the shop and get it fixed. But
okay.
A really heavy built tractor, older tractor, not that many hours on it. A real honest gentleman that's trying to sell it. Really like to buy it from him, but I'm just afraid Joe's going to be working on tractor, and Joe doesn't want to work on a tractor and doesn't know how to work on a tractor.
Right. I've been calling Mike a lot.
And Mike doesn't really like working on tractors, if the truth be known that much. Hey, I survive on web traffic. I appreciate you watching this video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click that bell that alerts you when I post new videos. I post every Thursday at 2 p.m. If you got questions or comments, put them down below. We'll try to answer them. Hey, thanks for watching.